Hello and welcome back. In today's episode, we are finally going to the inaugural ball. We've been hearing a lot about this so far. I wonder how it will go. The residence of President Swordlin, whole sword. I had just finished buttoning up my suit jacket when the doorbell rang. The presidential guard had arrived to pick us up for the inaugural ball. The ball was a 3-decade-old tradition, breathlessly anticipated by politicians, bureaucrats, and the press. All eyes were about to be on me. I called on Monica to get the children ready. Looking in the mirror, I straightened my tie and took a deep breath. After tonight, there would be no turning back. Suddenly, Deanna hugged me from behind, startling me, and Monica had fixed her hair into an elaborate braid, woven through with ribbons. Papa! Mama told me it's time to go. Hello, darling. I am ready. Where's your brother? I think Frank is still upstairs, she shrugged. It was almost time to leave. The big ball was starting in less than an hour. Now, where's my first lady? Monica came down the stairs. She was wearing a simple yet elegant beige chiffon dress and short heels. Her hair had been neatly pinned with a chignon, showing off the pearl earrings I had given her for the 15th anniversary. All those years she had stayed by my side. Now we were about to begin the most challenging chapter in our lives yet. How do you do, Mr. President? Embrace her. I pulled her into a deep embrace. Monica, my love, you look as gorgeous as the day we married. Now there's the charm that got you elected. Frank trudged down the stairs. This thing itches. Frank tugged at the collar of his new tuxedo. He seemed ill at ease. I'm glad to have you with us for this big night. Sure, Dad, I'm just dying to go. Papa, are these people going to be around us from now on? She pointed at the presidential guards at the door of the house. Yes, Swordlin's most important family needs extra protection. It's alright, baby. They are here to make sure nothing bad happens to your papa or his family. Monica held Deanna's hand together, flanked by the guards. We walked out the door. Halfway to the car, Frank stopped abruptly and turned towards me. Dad, do I really have to go? Couldn't I stay home instead? I'm nervous myself, Frank, but I'd feel a lot more confident with my son by my side. Frank smiled reluctantly. Well, when you put it like that, sure. Let's go. The president's guard showed us the way as red and blue lights flashed around us. Serge, my driver, ushered us into the armored limousine. Serge! The motorcade started moving towards the palace. I gazed out the window, deep in thought. Anton, what are you thinking about? I was thinking that we've come a long way together, haven't we? Yes, we have, and there's still so much we'll accomplish side by side. Just remember, no matter what happens, the children and I will always be here for you. And I'm gonna help Papa fix everything! Frank rolled his eyes. I know you will, honey. Let's just enjoy the night. After what seemed like a few minutes, the convoy slowed to a halt. Serge rolled down the limousine's soundproof partisan. We are here, sir. Hope you enjoyed the ride. Much appreciated. How are you today? I'm as good as I can be, but today is your day, sir. I'm glad you are in charge now. You know, my entire family voted for you. Thank you and your family. I'm here with all your support. No reason to thank me, sir. You're the one who sparked the glimmer of hope in us all. Serge opened the door for me. The normally imposing palace was festooned with garish banners that nearly made it look cheerful. A line of shiny luxury sedans stretched around it. Politicians, bureaucrats, and celebrities, the creme de la creme of the Swordlands elite, streamed inside the building. Good luck out there, Mr. President. I'll see you on the trip home. I stepped out and immediately found myself surrounded by loud voices and camera flashes. Hordes of eager journalists thrust their portable microphones my way. My guards fended most of them off, but one woman managed to dodge them and corner me. I recognized the Swordish Broadcasting Company logo on her press lanyard. Mr. President, do you plan on working together with the opposing parties on the expected constitutional reforms? My administration will bring real change. Does that mean you don't plan on working together? Do you think you share no common ground with the parties? I did not say that. One more question. One of your first acts as president was to sign a campaign finance law, allocating public election funds by seats in the assembly, as opposed to number of votes. Is this a deliberate attempt to defund a communist party and the ability as a workers' party, neither of them which have reached a threshold? I've had enough with your questions. It was agreed on by the majority of GA. I couldn't use my veto on the first day. Perhaps it was, It's to ensure the USP has the funds we need to stay in power long enough to truly bring democracy to this country. That's enough, ma'am, said one of my guards, one nudging the reporter away from me. A path through the crowd was now open, and we quickly made our way to the entrance of the palace. At the same time, a dozen fireworks went off. Pew, 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 boom, 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 boom. The entrance was decorated with beautiful ribbons and swordsman's colors of white, yellow, and maroon. A lush maroon carpet had been rolled down the stairs. We entered the lobby and enjoyed the throngs of people making their way towards the ballroom. Behind me, I heard a familiar voice. There they are, the most beautiful family in Swordland. Uncle Peter! Hi, Uncle Peter. It's great to see you. You two are going faster and I am getting wiser. Are you sure you've gotten any wiser, Peter? Maybe not. After all, I'm still sticking with you. Ha! Happy to see a familiar face, Peter. Evelyn? Peter's wife, Evelyn, approached us and shook our hands with a firmness that bellied her delicate features. Congratulations, Anton. I have to say, the results were clear to me from the beginning. There are women behind every successful man, huh? What a gentleman. Monica smiled at me. Monica, how are you? You've barely said a word. I'm more than relieved to have this roller coaster ride over with, but of course, now the real work begins. Ah yes, managing the help, planning parties, daily trips to the salon to look your best for foreign dignitaries. Don't be so old-fashioned, Evelyn. I plan to use my power as First Lady to advance the position of women throughout Swordland. Equal rights for sex are long overdue, wouldn't you say, Anton? Absolutely, and we'll work together to achieve that. Monica flashed me a smile. Deanna suddenly jumped in between us and tugged on my sleeve. Papa, can we go? I want to see the ballroom. Yes, it's time. Let's go. We moved to the ballroom. We left the lobby and made our way towards the ballroom. Inside, we were yet again surrounded by a noisy crowd, but this time it was the politicians who sought to appease the new authority in Swordland. I spent the next few hours shaking hands and joining various conversations, some serious, some superficial, and making speeches. We finally settled down at the dinner table with the veterans as the band started playing some slow jazz tunes. Oof, that was tiring. Oof. Really? There's an oof? I'm sorry. If I have to shake another hand again. Suddenly a bang! Echoed from outside the ballroom. Then another bang! Bang! The musicians stopped playing. Everyone in the room was looking around in confusion. Peter and I turned towards each other, realization dawning on both of our faces. Fireworks? No. Gunshots! As soon as Monica heard the word, she lunged from her seat. Get down! Shield Monica and the kids. I threw myself on Monica and Deanna and Frank to shield them. Papa, what's happening? I knew it. We never should have gone. Chaos broke out as some guests flung themselves under their tables and others ran towards the door screaming. Deanna burst into tears while Frank tried to comfort her, hiding the fear in his own eyes. 3 more gunshots. Bang, bang, bang! Ran out loudly. Mr. President, are you all right? Carl Greaser, head of the Swordfish police force, was running towards us with 3 more police officers in decorated uniform. They all had their guns drawn. As soon as he made it to us and saw we were unharmed, we let out a big sigh of relief. Thank God. What the hell is going on? 1 second, Mr. President. He turned around quickly to his men. Take the perimeter, now! Paul Jensen, follow my lead. We will bring them to the safe room. He now turned to Monica, Ellen, and the children and spoke in a softer voice. Do not worry, the situation now under control. Please follow me. We promptly followed Carl through the winding halls and the corridors of the palace. His men still had their guns drawn, which did nothing to ease the tension. On the way, Peter made an attempt to break the ice. What a effing night. Shh. Not now, Peter. Carl turned to us with a serious face as we were about to round a corner. Quiet, please. Sorry, I talk when I get nervous. Peter, shut up. Carl flipped the switch on the wall and panel opened, revealing a hidden staircase leading to a large reinforced door. Inside, a set of emergency lights flickered on. The safe room was comfortable and spacious. Its expensive-looking leather sofas. Small security monitors on the wall displayed grainy footage on each room in the palace. There was a boardroom and pantry containing enough provisions to last us months. Monica and Evelyn sat the children down and started wiping their tears. Carl stepped down away from us and made a few radio calls. When he was done, he returned to meet me and Peter. So what's the status? Carl's radio suddenly crackled to life. Every second felt like an eternity as he pressed his ear to the receiver. When it fell silent, he turned to us. Good news. We are not in any danger at the moment. The situation has been dealt with, and the perimeter has been secured by the guards and the police. He glanced towards Monica, Evelyn, and the kids. If I may, sir. He gestured towards a more private corner of the room and started speaking more quietly. This is what we know so far. We have confirmed the 2 people were gunned down in the front of the palace. The attacker is one of them, and we have reason to believe he was working alone. He fired 3 shots at an MP, 1 to the head, 2 to the body, instantly killing him. Presidential guards at the palace immediately shot and killed the attacker. He has not been identified yet and will require an investigation. The MP that was killed was identified as Bernard Circus. This is huge, Anton. This will cause a lot of problems. A lot of problems. Peter pulled out 2 cigarettes and handed me one. He then turned to Evelyn. I could hear him trying to assure her that everything was going to be alright. Monica was still trying to tend to Deanna as Frank paced through, mumbling that he should have stayed home. I'm going to comfort Monica and the kids. We are safe. I'll make sure everything's going to be fine. We can't be sure of that anymore, Anton. I lit my cigarette and took a deep drag. I was going to see this through and keep my family safe, at all cost. I crushed the cigarette on the ashtray. Woo! Well, that was the ball. Fun time. I think it went well. Oh, I see. Okay. Now, what do we got? Bernard Circus, he was shot when he was leaving Anton Rain's inauguration ball by a member of the Young Swords. Yeah. Read the report. Security increase. Security measure at the capital have been heightened after the murder of Bernard Circus. The mayor of Holsford reports that everything is under control. Security around the Marine Palace has been increased with the combined efforts of the Holsford Police Department and the Presidential Guard. Additionally, the entrance procedures in the palace are being revised with advice from security professionals. The police chief, Carl Grieser, reported that an investigation has been launched on the murder of Bernard Circus. Emergency meeting. The mood in the Situation Room was gloomy. My cabinet members were gathered to discuss the shooting outside the palace. Lilius presented the initial report. Bernard Circus was shot dead at 9:03 p.m. in front of the palace gates. He was an elected independent member of the assembly, and as we know, a famous communist. She spat the first words with some distaste. A famous communist. Bah! The guards at the scene were 15 meters away and immediately took action by responding and killing the assailant, who was identified as a member of the national organization, Young Swords. The president and his family were unharmed, praise God. An MP shot near the palace. This is absolutely unacceptable. I agree. We are re-evaluating our security measures. However, the recession has affected my ministry negatively. This may create a dangerous atmosphere where the left versus right political violence of the 1920s can spark once again. A return to those days would be devastating. The coups are the reason why our country stagnated for a decade. Nia Magna, the Minister of Justice, sighed. The Red Youth has condemned the killing, but didn't stop there. They promised revenge. This will, in turn, spark further aggression from the Young Swords. The whole circle started because Bernard Circus expressed his views. We cannot simply look away. Nia had always been one of the only members of the Justice Ministry truly deserving of the name. She derived countless attacks on her character while fighting corruption within the ministry, and rising to power had only compounded her sense of moral duty. Freedom of expression is part of our Constitution. We can't have anyone, let alone an MP, shot for voicing different opinions. I agree. We should protect the freedom of speech. Our laws do, and for good reason. Silencing voices only results in fear and stagnation inside society. We had that before, and know very well how it was. I hear your concerns. Our police do their best to uphold the rights of our citizens. We will prevent such an act from happening again by making sure security forces are reevaluated. Minister of Defense Iosif Lesy grunted in approval. He towered over the rest of us in full military uniform, his many war medals conspicuously on display. Agreed, ma'am. Our Grenadier Army will also help boost security in the rural areas where possible. There might be more violence to come. We should refrain from making the issue a political one from the start. It will only add fuel to the fire. You're right. We need to defuse the situation. Our government is capable to maintain security. Our job will be to reduce tensions. Several police cars rushed past the Maroon Palace, and everyone went silent. Regardless, a full investigation into all involved parties is underway. We will need to find the subversives and punish them soon enough, Mr. President. I'll do my best to help coordinate the administrative tasks. Justice will be served, and the rule of law will return to this country, stronger than ever. Only if we stay vigilant as a country. We must think about the upcoming budget. It is too soon to jump to conclusion. Reckless acts will have dire consequences. Agreed. We need to be patient until we have full picture. Lucien took some notes after checking the latest newspapers and reports. It seems the tensions between the communists and nationalists will escalate further. It will be difficult to pass any meaningful change if there is chaos in the country. We can't fix the recession if there isn't stability. You're right. We need to trust our ministers to stabilize the situation if it comes to it. This will be it for today, then. We'll convene again soon. Thank you all. Keep us updated. The meeting concluded. The ministers left the room with concerned looks. It was hard to anticipate what would happen next. Yeah, not a amazing spot, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Sordland today. MP shot. Nation in shock. Sordland has been shocked by grave news today, as an elected member of the parliament has been shot in suspected political assassination. Police sirens were heard around the clock today as Hulsord's police force increased security measures around the capital. The fact that such a violent act happened at the heart of the capital during the new president's inauguration celebrations has worried citizens. The Red Youth has reported to have promised revenge. This seems like it has potential to be a spark that would swirl Sordland into political violence of the 1920s. Raines says bill was necessary for democracy. I didn't mean not interested in cooperate. Man, you really know they are spinning the truth. But, oh well. I'm just being realistic, and the newspaper articles. President Raines shut down the call for cooperation from Franz Richter and the PFJP ahead of inauguration ball, implying that he shares no values with that position. Regarding the remarks of Richter about a possible cooperation to fix the current problems of Sword's political institutions, the president chose to make no comments. Richter has been vocal about his democratization plans, and it seems that demands for constitutional change will never become reality if we do not see Richter presidency anytime soon. It looks like the opposition will have a hard time during President Raines' term, which is not true. Raines says bill was necessary democracy. One of President Raines' first acts in office was to sign campaign finance law, allocating public election funds by number of assembly seats, as opposed to percentage of votes won in the general election. In a review ahead of his inauguration ball, Raines claimed that this decision, which would be effective double the election budget for his own party, was necessary in order for the USP to truly bring democracy to Sordland. The lots have been times. Murder at the palace. Breaking news. Bernard Turkis, prominent independent MP known for his calmness romanticism, has been murdered, leaving the Marine Palace grounds after the inauguration ball of Anton Rain. Reports indicate a politically motivated assault by the far-right nationalists young swords. Shocking photographs have been leaked to the press showing blood-dripped stairs of the Marine Palace. We heavily condemn this sort of political violence. This is very cycle of the president must break and with the reforms. I don't know why I decided to use that voice for that, but I just felt like it. A few days later. And the country's gone. There's just nothing here. Yeah, that's it. End of game. I don't know. We'll start, as always, going over to other places. Horton critiques trade. The leader of the Magnolia's diplomatic critiqued the imbalance of trade between our countries. Concerns were raised over how much Sordland profits from net trade in comparison to Magnolia. Prime Minister Martin van Houten requests a fair reevaluation of existing treaties and future negotiations. Republic of Wellman. The latest diplomatic message from the leader of Wellen warned us regarding a pathway from the mountains of Bergia that allowed traders of the state escaping to Scotland. President Viktor Smolik has demanded that the border security to be increased. He also sent his best wishes about handling the protests in Swordland. Estord. Police overburdened Estord. We have been receiving reports of lack of equipment and staff from police forces in Estord. With the escalating violence in the city, the officers have been working 12-hour shifts to suppress the protests to no avail. The police commissioner of Estord has requested reinforcements and extra supplies of tear gas from nearby cities. Narbel. Police understaffed. Narbel has reported that it is currently too understaffed to deal with the ongoing political violence. Due to the small size of the police force in the city, there have been working non-stop, and a number of officers were sent to the hospital as a result of severe fatigue. Minister of Interior Lilias Graf has been working with head of police Karl Grieser to address this issue. Suzerain. The Sol Dam has reached its maximum capacity. The dam, a crucial element of the city's infrastructure, has been handling an enormous amount of water inflow recently. With the reservoir full capacity, the dam's operation efficiency is under scrutiny. The maintenance checks are being conducted to ensure the dam's safety. Illegal Ka-74 is seized. A cache found with Rumberg-made weapons, including 47 brand-new Ka-74s, 2,854 bullets, 12 handguns, 27 grenades, and bomb-making equipment was found in the basement of an abandoned home in Suzerain. No suspects have been detained yet. The investigation is ongoing to determine the origins of the equipment. Suzerain. Young Sword's Youth Wing leader dead after terror attack. Local Young Sword Youth Wing leader in Suzerain, Ayek Torin, has claimed responsibility for the organized attack in the Bludish market that resulted in the death of 7 people. His base of operation has been raided, and he has been found dead with 2 bullets left wounds in the back of his head. The scene was organized to make it look like a suicide. We are not able to get information about the location of other ringleaders connected to the terrorist attack. Rebel. Illegal firearms found in Communist Party office. The Bergian security forces raided the local Communist Party office after alleged attacks organized by one of their members and found illegal firearms in the office. The building has been closed, and 22 members of the Communist Party of Swordland have been detained. This is looking to be completely fine, I think. Again, read the report. Communist Party leader suspected of bomb attack. At 11:48, an unattended bag in front of NFP office in Velgen was destroyed by the police on suspicions of bomb threat, which were verified. Upon further investigation, the Communist Party leader of Velgen, Milt Hrennen, has been arrested in connection to the incident. Jin. Weapons seized in Cultural Center. Local police forces report that a wardrobe full of heavy military equipment has been seized in Young Sword's Cultural Center in Jin. Regulars of the place denied having any knowledge about the weapons. The owners of the building have been detained along with 13 other people. The police captured 22 rifles and 2 machine guns. The equipment belonged to the Swordish Armed Forces, dated 1929, but kept in very good condition. Reports of BFF activity in the capital. The chief of police, Karl Grieser, reports that 2 Bloodish women were affiliated to the Bloodish Freedom Front, BFF, have been caught in the Whole Sword before they could execute a terrorist attack at a crowded rally. Both women are listed as wanted criminals and enemies of the state. The arrested women have admitted their duty to attack the National Front Party's rally at Seoul Square when Kazaro Kibaner gave his speech, but rejected any connection to the BFF. Both claim they were acting alone. Police reports that the situation is under control and further investigations are underway. The Whole Sword Post. Swordish politician found dead. A Swordish poet and politician who had spoken out about the idea of dictatorship of the proletariat was shot during the evening of Anton Rein's inaugural ball. Bernard Circus, a 53-year-old Swordish member of Assembly, was shot a number of times by a gunman at the entrance of the Maroon Palace, who had identified to be a member of the Young Swords. Despite his radical views, Mr. Circus was elected to be an independent member of the Assembly in 1953 elections, and sadly did not manage to live long enough to serve his duty. He was said to have repeatedly received threats from Swordish nationalists who viewed him as a traitor, promoting militarism in Swordland. Television footage showed the famous poet's body lying face down, draped with a white sheet on the pavement in front of the gates of Maroon Palace. Elias Graf, the interior minister, said she had assigned a group of leaders, ministers, officials to lead the hunt for the killers. Once again, dark hands have chosen our country and spilled blood in Whole Sword to achieve their dark goals, she told the news conference. We are investigating all aspects of this crime. His funeral will be held tomorrow in the home city of Dier. The local police have reported having increased security measures for the ceremony and stand ready for a massive attendance. Swordland today. Unity despite differences. Swordland has two paths to the future, and this year is critical to decide which path we embark on. Amid a recession, the lack of stability and security caused by the death of Bernard Circus is an unacceptable reality. We move toward jobs and a safe atmosphere if our country is supposed to grow and prosper. But how will we increase our employment and open new factories if there's blood flowing down the streets? Swordland will never reach its goals as an advanced society if we descend in a downward spiral of splintering of our nation. Peace and prosperity, now, forever. The only way out of the recession, bailing out businesses. Swordland's economy has been displaying a downward trend over the past 2 years of Alfonso's presidency. If we want to prevent our country from declaring bankruptcy, we need a way out of the recession. We need it now. The economic downturn keeps hitting hard at the businesses, which are struggling to stay afloat. It is clear that helping hand from the government is required to control the situation. There's no other way, apart from bailing out businesses, to truly provide relief to the economy. This in turn should revitalize the economy by creating more employment opportunities and increasing production in Swordland. You're right. That is what we must do. The Latvian Times. Murder was a method of the past. The tensions between the left and right extremists have increased in the country after the assassination of MP Bernard Circus. Protests of Malavist groups quickly turned to riots around the country. We are calling for peaceful protests and dialogue instead of violence. After the attack that prompted the riots, a member of the Young Swords assassinating a member of the Assembly clearly shows they are willing to use extreme actions, said Franz Richter in his speech in the Grand National Assembly. We live within these borders together, and therefore we will bear a responsibility, a duty, to live together with our differences. Richter's unifying message is something that we all should listen to in these times of danger or of loss. The murder was a method of the past, and it has tainted us. Remind us of who we were before and who we don't want to become in the future, said Richter. I say to that, we as citizens of this nation all bear responsibility beyond ideologies, partisanship, and any other ideology. Radical. Farewell, Bernard Circus. It is a sad moment for Swordland. We have lost a renowned poet, who not only wrote about the struggles of the working class, but also acted on them. However, the decision to enter Swordish politics was met with a sick attack that ended his life. This was indeed intended as a message to all opposing voices in Swordland. We, the team here at Radical, condemn this evil act of the terror of the Young Swords, who we believe must be held accountable as a whole group. It is finally time for the government to realize the organization as a terrorist threat and serve the justice that is due. Bernard Circus is always going to be in our hearts as a great Swordish poet, as a revolutionary, as the leader of the Swordish avant-garde, as a futurist, as a romantic, as a melodist, but beyond all, as a symbol of freedom of speech. He is now a man who is murdered for speaking his mind. This cannot remain as yet another political murder of the sad reality of Swordland. In fact, it is time to change this. It is time to speak up as people. The most beautiful sea hasn't been crossed yet, said the great poet, reminding us to always have hope. We must strive to have hope, and to make them a reality. It is the best way to honor his memory. Bernard Circus will be laid down in Deer tomorrow. Any citizens who want to pay respect is invited to attend. Vagland's labor unions drive further decentralized economic growth, empower workers. Helm Vagland, building upon the foundation of Vaglandist socialism inspired by Imrich Hegel's revolutionary ideas, labor unions, and spearheading the next phase of decentralized economic growth and worker empowerment in Vagland, the unique form of socialism, emphasizing a federal economic organization of society, continues to reshape the nation's political and economic landscape. The Vagland's Workers' Cooperative, a successful example of Vagland's socialism in practice, has demonstrated the potential of democratic decentralized management, productivity, and an impressive 33% rise in worker satisfaction. Encouraged by these results, calls for expansion of decentralized structures across various sectors of the economy has gained momentum. In light of these successes, Vagland's Minister of Labor, Frida Alberson, recently unveiled a new initiative in Helm aimed at further expanding infrastructure, promoting scientific and technological advancements, and fostering industrial growth, guided by the principles of decentralization and democratic control. This plan seeks to build on the Vagland's Workers' Cooperative model and apply it on a larger scale. We believe that the principle of the Vaglandian socialism offers sustainable and equitable path for our nation's future, Alberson stated during a press conference stalwart. As Vagland moves forward with Emrich Hegel's vision of a decentralized and egalitarian society, the nation is solidifying its position as a leader in socialist thought and policy making, both at home and abroad. With labor unions at the forefront of this movement, this ongoing development of Vaglandian socialism offers a promising blueprint for other nations seeking to implement similar reforms. A Acacian PMC descends on Maribone in a mid-resource extraction controversy. In the midst of a political unstable situation, Maribone, the largest Acacian private military corporation, PMC, Palantir Security Solutions, has deployed its forces to the resource-rich nation. Research revealed that the PMC has been contracted by several multinational corporations here to extract valuable natural resources amidst the chaos. Maribone, a country in the continent of Rica, has been grappling with internal strife and weak governance, leading to a power vacuum. This has opened doors for foreign interests to exploit the situation to extract the abundant resources such as oil, minerals, and rare earth metals present within Maribone's borders. Palantir Security Solutions, known for their tactical prowess and advanced military technologies, has sent a significant force to the region. Reports suggest that the PMC has already established several forward operation bases near the key resource extraction sites, raising concerns about the long-term implications of this move on Maribone's sovereignty. But I think this is a good time to go ahead and end this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.